Alright, so at this point I'm going to start working on the books for Beast, and what I want to do is I want to make him those old style books, and you know how some of them are like, a green, maybe a little bit of a red, or a brown tint to them. So what I did is I just pretty much painted up white in here, and then I masked it off with silly putty, and I gave them a base brown. And so the next step is I kind of want to give it a little bit of a texture on them. And since I'm going to do like a wash over them, it doesn't really need to be any specific color. So what I'm going to do is kind of just do this stuff, you know. Just give it a little bit of a texture. I'm going to go around all the stuff. I might use a paintbrush for some areas. It doesn't need to be anything special, because the edges will be worn. So when I do a wash of color over each book, so what I'll have to do is, it'll bring out that texture a little bit and stuff. So I'm just going to go through all these books and we'll come back once I get all the texture done. But you can use any kind of a washing sponge. You go to any kind of store and get like kind of a sponge. You could break it up. This part I've been broken it up, but this is kind of all crusty now, so I got to actually get a new sponge when I get a chance, but this side's still good. So I'm just going to build up the texture. We'll come back and I'll show you what I'm going to do, masking up each book. Alright, so I used this sponge and I also used this paintbrush, and I kind of just went in little areas with my paint just to kind of give it all of a worn look. So now what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to leave the middle one alone, and then I'm going to mask this one off with some silly putty, and I'll probably mask off the top one, and I'll probably do this one with maybe like a red, airbrush transparency, and then I might do this one like a green, and then once all that's dried, I'll probably do this one over here, and then I'll probably gloss coat it, and then dull it down to give it that like sheen, worn look. Okay, so I got my three colors. I got my transparencies, red, blue, and green. This one right here I'm going to start doing with the blue, so it's just a matter of hitting it with a transparency and then blow drying it a little bit. So I'm going to kick on this and then go. So what I'm doing is I'm starting to change the base color so it's not going to be the same as these, as you can kind of see. So what I might do is I'm going to get these going. So I got to get in closer with these. So we'll come back once the transparencies are done. And then it's kind of like a gloss coat and then a flattening it down and everything just to give it that old school look. Okay, so as you can pretty much see, we got all different colors now. It's still a mess. I got to do some fine detailing, and this is stuff that I have to do, up close and everything. But this gives you an idea of just by doing one base color and then taking those color, masking it off and just doing a wash over it, you could change the books dramatically. Now it's got some of a sheen, but I want to bring out more of a sheen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to detail up the areas around the corners. I'm going to add a little bit of shading, with some dry brush around underneath each book. And then I'm going to do a gloss coat, and then I'm going to dull that down, and then I'm going to do all the pages, because white's a little bit more difficult to do, and it's okay to make the white pages kind of look a little messy the way they are. I'm just going to do a little bit more to them, and because the idea is of old covers on the books, the pages aren't going to be super white. And then once all that's said and done, I'm going to mull over my idea. But I'm pretty sure when the final video comes, I might put some stuff on the edges, like in like gold, like a little bit of a gold print, like maybe a number edition, or maybe I'll look online about something, maybe like Mark Twain book, or I don't know, just some fun books that I think that Beast might read. So I'm gonna worry about that down the line. Right now, I just want to get focused on these and get these done tonight, and then I'll come back down the line and figure out what kind of type I'll write on the edges. Small little details like that always help out with the painting, So, like I said, it's just something that I envision would be on his desk in some of these old books from the library. Alright, so I went in the garage and I gloss coated this with the Duplicolor gloss coat from the can, the car paint. And it's still a little tacky. I'm going to let it dry a little bit, but I need to get out of the cold garage. And then I'm going to flat top coat it with Garage Kit's flat top coat. Dull it down a little bit. And then once it's all dulled down, I can go in and I can do some white dry brush on the pages, because what I did is I stained up the books a little bit, as you can kind of see. And just some white, dry brushing in there will help, kind of just blend it together so it doesn't look too just, blah. But it just kind of come together. So it's just little by little building it up and getting these books there. And then, like I said, by the time the whole statue's done, maybe I'll have some stuff on the edges. I got to talk to the client, see if he's interested in anything on the sides, and see how far I could go with it. But, just some nice, cool little book colors on the table. Alright, some more little updates on the Beast kit. The laptop's fairly simple. All I did was paint it black. And then what I did is I masked off the black and I painted this up, a little bit of a silver. Then I masked off these three squares. And then this is all masked off. And then I did this gunmetal all around it. And then once the gunmetal was done, I just masked off the X with silly putty. And then just put in this, so as you can kind of see, it's like interference. So it's kind of like glowing back there type thing. And then after that was done, I have this little paintbrush, and then I just try to put in all these little letters. My handwriting's horrible, but just, to get some kind of a letters on the keypads. And then we're going to focus more on the video later when I do a nice sticker for the monitor. Going to come up with something pretty cool. But that's pretty simple, straightforward. I mean, you really don't need a big walkthrough on just doing gunmetals. But right now, this is where the Beast kit's at the moment. I talked to the client and they wanted a darker gold, not like a yellowish. So this is kind of that pale gold from Alclad, as you can see. So what I did is I tested that out at the bottom, and I got to send a picture to see if he likes it, and then we're going to go off and do the rest of it. But I'm going to do something a little bit different. It's not going to all be pale gold all over him because that Alclad's very hard to get in the thinner stuff. So what I'm going to do is it's going to be kind of a different, the arm guards are, since it's metal, it's going to be that pale gold, and you figure since this stuff down here is kind of like probably a metal or some kind of an leg guard, that's going to be a pale gold. But the outfit, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this titanium gold. So it's not really, I mean, that looks yellow at the bottom because it's not mixed up, because you can kind of see it's separated at the moment. But when you mix this stuff together, it's more of a pale metallic than it is a, yellowish. So that's going to pretty much be the outfit. And then, one of the last steps right here is when we do this X medallion on his chest, we'll go back to the pale gold there, and we'll do the red in the middle. So it's going to be, it's going to be a little bit of a changing of colors because you can't do everything the same. It kind of look weird. You want to focus on the metal stuff looking metal, and then the outfit's kind of more of that, spandex type of, like, really cool, like, X-Men outfit. I don't know, some kind of special outfit. So that's kind of what I'm going for at the moment. So that's where we're at. As far as the black, this is just all, it's just a simple black paint and then an interference blue over it and going from there. So, like I said, just doing step-by-steps on this stuff so you can kind of see the progress of how I work. Alright, so I'm going to start working on the desks now and the chair as well. So what I'm doing is I'm using Liquitex Soft Body, Raw Sienna, but this is Liquitex Airbrush Medium. And in these empty bottles that Garage Kit Color sells, these are great with the marble in them. You can mix up your own colors. So what I do is I put some of the Liquitex in here, and then you put the airbrush medium and you can push through your airbrush really good. So as you can see, I'm getting the base color of the desk done. So the desk is going to be mahogany. I also got to work out the chair too, that's next, but I'm not going to film that. It's just, as things go, I'll be filming, but right now I'm just trying to get all this stuff base coated while it's a fairly warm day. The red oxide duplicolor primer is kind of showing through, but that's okay. That's what I want because it is going to have a lot of different shades and everything, and once I order some more transparency colors from Garage Kits, I'll be able to really start focusing on it and doing some transparencies and dry brushing and really bring out like a nice worn mahogany stained desk type thing. I don't have to worry about too much of the top because I'm following a desk that was sent to me, and it's got like those, like something like a kind of like a placemat type thing up here, which is kind of like more of a, it's like kind of like a grayish silver type thing. I don't know. So I can worry about that last. Right now it's focusing on all the wood. So trying to lift this sucker up and getting this base color dry, which is great because I could order the paints. It'll take about a week. I could get this stuff nice and set before I really start messing with it. And then I can start, building up colors and doing all this fine detailing and go from there. Alright, so at this point with Beast, what I did was I masked off all this blue and then I did this yellow. Now this yellow is a base coat in Tamiya titanium gold. And then what I did is I misted over some of this pearlized gold from Createx Auto Air Colors. And then I did some, some shading in there, light shading with some orange and some browns. Not too much, but it just gives the gold, the yellow gold, a little bit more pop than just throwing just pure gold over it and letting it sit. Just to give it some shading. So I like to see where I'm at with it, and I think what's happening is it's starting to come together the way I like it, because that orange is with the blue and the yellow. It's really making them pop a little bit more. So we got one set of color here, and then we got another set of color here. Now on the back of him, there's this little armor thing back here, so I'm going to do that the same color as this gold on the feet. And then what I'm going to do is, once it's all said and done, all the stripes, all these little lines that go around, I'm just going to go pure titanium gold with this and leave that alone. So we're going to have one gold yellow here, another gold yellow here, and then all this lines will be a different yellow gold. So we're going to have 3 different types, which helps bring it together a little bit more. So it's just just how the progress goes, and I just want to keep focused on getting the figure done. Alright, I'm going to start painting up the desk, and I was just doing some tests. I just wanted to make sure I had the right color, the good paintbrush that's going to be able to give me some stuff. So as you can start seeing, I'm like doing some kind of wood grain type stuff. So this is the picture I was sent. Hopefully it's not getting too messed up. So this is kind of what I was sent, and I'm kind of following this picture the best I can. So the idea is, I'm going to do this like I'm actually painting, I'm actually like staining a piece of wood. I have to create the grain work first, though. That's the thing. So I'm going to sit here with the paintbrush. I'm going to go through this all day. I'm going to do like, line work around. I'm going to try to hit in the bigger areas around there. I'm not going to be able to do any kind of grain work within here. I can, I'll do washes of stuff and maybe some dry brushing, and then we'll do our clear. So it's kind of hard to explain, but it's almost like I'm painting the wood and the wood grain, and then I'm going to do transparency colors over it, which is kind of like staining the wood in a sense. So it's kind of like I'm following this kind of process. So, I'm at this point right now, but the idea is to end up with this at the end. It's going to be like mahogany. It's going to be transparencies. I'm going to film some of this while I'm working, but I can't film all this because I might be on this all day long. I might be doing some work tomorrow. I might be doing this where I need a break and I got to put it aside and just go do something else. Might pop on a movie. It's just tedious work. You just got to get in the zone, and you just got to start and just keep plugging away. As it goes on, I might do some dry brushing too, as I paint this whole thing, and then do more stain work type, transparencies, and then it's just going to keep building and building and building until I get it to where I want it. So with that being said, I'm going to start painting the desk on my desk, which is kind of funny, and just see how this goes along.